Because God, like we said, God already knew what you was going to go through. So when you did get saved, his whole purpose was to make life better. Yeah. He says, I know you feel broken, shattered, disgusted, neglected, all that stuff. So I'm going to put you in right standing. Make you feel good, make you feel right. Okay, that's the whole purpose of being in the righteousness of Christ. So you don't have to live that dull life no more. But you have to know that. So I'm still his workmanship. What that mean? I'm still destined and designed to overcome. That's my makeup.
Yes, amen.
Now, Paul's statement here seems contradictory. It did to me. Okay? Because he tells us that all things are working together for our good. And we oftentimes wonder, well, where is that?
Well,
what in the world? But he speaks from the fact that though, and this was key for me, though you are a child of God, yes. Though you are heirs and joint heirs with Christ, yes. You're no longer in bondage to the law of sin and death, yes. But this does not mean your life is not affected by the presence of sin.
That's right. That's right.
And death in the world.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
The word says we're in the world, not of it. That means you're going to feel some stuff going on. But you don't live on the outside now. You in the palace.
That's it.
You live on the inside. The kingdom of God that's in your heart. Okay? We don't live based on this world's dictation.
That's right.
So it doesn't mean that he speaks hope. These verses are hope. According to his own personal testimony of being under great pressure and despair, that's in 1 Corinthians, being hard pressed on every side, perplexed, persecuted, struck down, that's in 2 Corinthians, and experiencing beatings, imprisonment, riots, and danger. That's in 2 Corinthians. But Paul's point is, yet I stand in God. He ended up as one of the greatest apostles that stood against adversity and affliction and still serve God. Paul encourages us to understand that in the midst of our suffering and hardship in the world, God already saw it, he already knew about it, and he already made a plan for it, and it's present, like verse 1 says, all things are working together. In other words, that working is actually God. God is working it for your good. He's present with you in that thing. He's working it to fulfill his eternal plan. That means you're not of the world. You're in the plan of God. So tell the devil, Checkmate. Okay, now in closing, I'm just going to share a little bit of my testimony. And I pray that it encourages you and it lifts you up. But based on these verses, oftentimes we struggle, I struggled for a long time to see how God's hand was working in myself. But I didn't see it.
Amen.
I did not see it. I was angry. I was a lot of things going on. But God is the potter. Okay? We are what?
Clay.
The clay. Pottery, from a natural standpoint, it got to go through fire to be hardened and to be useful. Other than that, you're just some mush. Just mush. To become the destined vessel of God, we must overcome our past. But the thing of it is Satan wants you to believe the fire will kill you. The topic was, I'm standing even through the fire. He wants you to think the fire won't kill you. But the secret to pottery I found is that it's not the fire. It's not the fire that strengthens that pot or that vessel or whatever it's made into. We all are made into different vessels of God. Some of us may be a bowl. Some of us may be a plate or whatever you are. God has molded you into a spiritual vessel. You are a teacher. You are a preacher. You are a whatever, evangelist. You're a songstress. But whatever he's molded you into, it's not your trials that make you. We understand we go through them and they help to develop us. But in the natural sense, pottery is able to be strengthened because of its architectural integrity. Before it enters the fire, what that means is the potter knew how he made that clay up before he put it in there. Okay? He knew how he had molded it and pressed on it, got all that. But when you get a block of clay, when the potter first get it, it's got dirt in it, it's got straw and debris and little bits of rock in it and all kind of stuff. That's us. When we came out of eternity into time, sin threw a whole lot of mess in us. Okay? And so God is trying to get us back to where we were in him for his glory here in the earth. So not your trials that make you who you are. It's what God predestined in you before you came to this earth, before you became who you are. This is what Satan works to deceive us from. He wants you to think you're defeated because of what happened here in the earth. But God already knew what you was going to be like before you got here.
All right.
Okay? The fire just seals the process. That's all the fire does.
Amen.
It just seals who you already are. It confirms, in other words, your makeup that you are an overcomer. You are victorious. Because God made you that way. The trials of the enemy come to make you think that you're not that. Okay?
That's right.
Because if the pot is not made correct before